And welcome to the next installment of the Dayz Spotlight. And this week we are shining the spotlight on Jakon72. Jakon, how are you, buddy?
Good, man. How are you?
Mate, I am not too bad at all. Happy to be getting back into these after all this bloody time off with medical issues and all the rest of it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hopefully everything's going well with you. I saw everything and it doesn't seem like a lot of fun. So
Mate, getting old sucks. That's all I'll say. Yeah, when you're young, you think you're 10 foot tall and bulletproof, but as you get older, your body quickly lets you know that you aren't 10 foot tall and bulletproof. You're only 6'4" and you're fucking far too overweight, and you need to look after yourself a bit better, says the man who's sitting here drinking his third iced coffee of the day.
All right, fair enough.
So, mate, thank you so much for doing this. I've been looking forward to this one, mate. You're one of my favourite PvPers out there. Your skills in PvP are definitely not second to many, mate. I think there's probably only Taupe and a couple of others out there who are on the same sort of level as you. Deadly is pretty good as well. Sacriel, those sort of guys who really know how to PvP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Deadly's a very, very smart player.
Very smart, especially in squads. That's where he really shows his ability is when he's playing with other players. You know, personally, I think it's a bit over the top, all the call-outs they have, but I can see the point of it. It works so well for them. I don't think there's a single spot on the whole Chinaris map that those guys don't have a code name for.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. It's having call-outs is so extremely helpful, because when someone says, you know, that tree line to my left, kind of, you know, it hit or miss whether or not you know what they're saying.
Yeah. Yep. Particularly if you're in a different location to them as well. You know, that tree line to the left, oh shit, well, whereabouts are you?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. So, mate, let's start off with a little bit about you. Let's get to know a little bit more about Jakon. How old are you, buddy?
I am 18. Turned 18 in April.
In April. And family?
I have a brother, and my parents are divorced. I'm living with my mom and my brother. Actually, I also live with my grandma.
Yep. And do you have a job?
Do I have a job? I don't currently have a job. I plan on getting some sort of part-time work when I get a little bit into this year of high school, which is going to be my last year.
Yep.
I have had jobs in the past, but currently, no.
Other than doing YouTube and Twitch streaming?
Right.
Mm-hmm. And do you have any other hobbies outside of gaming, mate?
Hobbies. So I like going to the gym. I'm not the most fit person in the world. I'll be the first to say that. But I like it. I should probably go more often. I also like playing airsoft. I don't know if you've seen Silo's videos.
I love Silo's airsoft videos. I really do. I'm a big fan of them.
They're amazing. It's gotten me wanting to play airsoft super bad, so I'm going to start going at some points in the school year. And I mean, editing videos and streaming is just a lot of fun.
Yep. Now, what is the origin of your name, mate? Jakon72.
Okay, so that's an interesting one. So a long time ago, I don't even know, gosh, like maybe 5-6 years ago, my friend, who's also named Jacob, we made a YouTube channel, which is now deleted, but his name was Jakon73, and I kind of stole it.
Yep.
I kind of ripped it right off. Not gonna lie.
And what about the 72? What does that mean?
72. Other than being the number that I thought of at the time of making the name, it doesn't really hold much value.
Mm-hmm. Okay. A bit about your gaming background, mate. So who or what got you into gaming in the first place?
So way back when I was like, well, not way back, I'm not that old. Maybe back when I was like 8 years old. I don't know. Like I said, I have a terrible, terrible memory. So maybe when I was 8 years old, 7 years old, my mom actually had this Nintendo 64, and we used to play. There was an ice hockey game. There was Street Fighter. We used to play a lot of Mario on that, and that was the first time I got my hands on any type of video game.
Yep. And what's your favourite game of all time?
Favorite game of all time has to be Dayz.
Yep.
Has to be. Just amazing. I love the game. You could do so much. There's never an encounter that happens twice.
Pretty much. Everything's got its own little unique twist.
Exactly. Which is why I love it so much.
And do you still remember your first PC?
First PC. So the first computer I had was a 2008 Microsoft. I don't even know what it was called. It was really, really bad. Had a Pentium 4, maybe 2 gigs of RAM, 500 gig hard drive. It was absolutely terrible. I couldn't run. What's the game called? StarCraft 2. I couldn't. One of my friends was really into that game at the time, and I could not run the game. Upwards of 6 FPS.
Wow.
That was my first one.
That would have been painful to play.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And you've already answered this one. Your first console was a Nintendo 64. It's a classic console, the 64.
Yeah, it is. It was so much fun.
Yep.
Just playing back then. Really nostalgic. Well, looking back now.
So why did you start streaming?
Streaming in particular?
Yeah, streaming in particular.
Okay, so I started streaming because I wanted to engage live with my audience. I didn't have a large audience at all. I think I had no audience when I started streaming. I started streaming what was it? Call of Duty, some Titanfall. That was the first game I actually got like 2 or 3 viewers on.
Yep.
That I'd see consistently, maybe. And I never had a schedule, but that was the first game that I streamed and saw the same faces once every now and then.
Okay. And on your video side, do you have a favourite video that really stands out for you as your best one you've ever done?
Okay, so best one I've ever done that is released, because I'm about to release my 25,000 subscriber special, which
Yep.
I expect to be my best video, and I'm putting like more than 24 hours worth of work in there. But my best video that I have released now, it's got to be the Ghillie Sniper.
Yep. And what was it about it that just made it for you?
It had a bit of everything in it. It had a friendly interaction, where I'm not going to spoil the video if any of you guys want to watch it, but it had friendly interaction where, I'd talk to a player and maybe offer them some gear. It had the sneaky elements of a ghillie suit, using that to my advantage. And of course, it had a hacker in the end of it. So,
yeah.
And some nice shots in it. So, yeah, all around my best video.
On an aside, I haven't run into a hacker in so bloody long.
Yeah, they go after the streamers now a lot.
Yeah.
They go after me in particular, a few of them, who I'm not going to name because he doesn't need more credit. But yeah.
So what recording software do you use for your videos?
So to record all of my gameplay, I use OBS Studio.
Yep.
I record in the H.264 codec at 50,000 bitrate. Streaming is the same. And to record my voiceovers, I could do it in Premiere. I don't know why I don't, but I just use Audacity.
Yep. So editing software, you use Adobe.
Yeah, Adobe Premiere Pro. I've used
Yep.
it for 2 years, and prior to that, I used Sony Vegas 13 or 12, I think.
Any reason why you switched?
Reason why I switched would probably be if you've heard of the YouTuber Danny Plays,
Yes.
Danny doesn't actually upload anymore, which is super sad. He was his videos were amazing, and he would have really gone places on YouTube. But he told me to start using Premiere because you could do a lot more in Premiere, and it's a lot more advanced.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you know what, fuck it. He knows what he's doing, and his videos are amazing, so why not? And I started using Premiere.
Sweet. Okay, so now we move on to the meat of the interview, stuff about Dayz. Now, did you ever play the mod?
I did. I played 500 hours of
Yep.
the standalone, 500 to 1,000. Kind of got bored. All of my squad members wanted to take a little break, and I played a couple hundred hours of the mod.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't play it right off the bat. I played it in the middle.
Yep. Now, you said it's your favourite game of all time. Do you want to elaborate a bit on what makes you love it so much?
Well, I mean, you can really do anything you want in Dayz, right? I've always given this example to people because I mean, you can't really do this in any other game, not that I'm aware of anyways. In Dayz, you can shoot people, you can be friendly, you can talk, you can, have engagements. But, as an example of the complexity of Dayz, you can run into someone, make friends with them, turn on them, knock them out, handcuff them, put a bag over their head so they can't see, wake them up, and feed them infected kiwis.
Yep.
So, the fact that you can do that and everything else, and I don't really do that very often, as some people might know, but the fact that you can do so much in Dayz, and I don't really ever get bored of it because there's just so much to do.
Mm-hmm. If there was anything you could add to the game, what would it be and why?
Okay, so I've got this question many times before, but I've never really been able to answer it properly. Because, I don't know. Well, people have asked me what I could fix, and I know that. I'm just not sure what I could add to the game. I would say... let me see. I don't know. I mean, I know helicopters are coming. Maybe mountable weapons on vehicles. Nothing like an M240 or anything like that. But if you have maybe your M249, which uses 5.56, you could maybe bipod it on top of the back of a pickup truck if pickup trucks are in the game eventually. That kind of shooting from vehicle, mounted weapons.
Okay. Who is your favourite Dayz content creator?
My favorite Dayz content creator, it's probably a tie between Toprek, because
I knew you were going to say Toprek.
He's hilarious. It's so much fun to play with Taupe. He's really good at PvP, and
that's it. He's got skills, but he's got such a unique way of looking at the game. For someone who can PvP like he does, he doesn't always choose to do it. Some of the interactions he has, and his reaction to it, that's what I love so much about it. When he has something funny happen in the game, his laugh is contagious. You just, oh my god.
It is. It really is. Taupe is an awesome dude. It would be a cross between Taupe and Deadly Slob. I don't know what it is about Deadly. I really like his personality. He's a really down-to-earth, chill dude.
He's the hardest working content creator for Dayz, hands down. No one comes close to the level of content he creates. I think it's every day he's got a video. Every week he's doing his Ask Deadly Q&As, and he streams every day on top of that. I don't know how he keeps that level up.
Yeah, I mean, he's got a crazy schedule. I mean, he's doing it full time, which I guess plays a hand in the amount of content that he creates.
Yep. But
it's just he's able to keep the quality up. The quality never drops. It's always something interesting with him. It's not always PvP. I enjoy his interactions as well. And people might not believe that because Jakon72 kills everyone, but I really enjoy the way he carries himself in the game and the vibe his videos and content just puts off. It's just a nice chill place to sit down and enjoy yourself for a little while.
Status reports. Do you read them, and if so, what do you honestly think of them?
Okay, so I read pretty much every status report. There was a couple maybe like 9 months ago that I just decided not to read. Not out of laziness, although I kind of am a lazy person, just out of the fact that I was kind of getting bored of Dayz at that point. But what I think of the status reports is basically this. I love them. They're a good way for the developers to explain things to the community. Sometimes they get a little repetitive, but it makes sense because they can't always... well, I guess not now, because they're revealing pretty much everything with a new build. But they couldn't always just drop new content in each status report, right? Because they run out of things that they're adding to the game.
Yeah.
And then when they release a patch, everyone knows what's going on. So I enjoy them, although sometimes there was a point where they got a little stale, like a couple of months back.
What, if any, advice would you give to the dev team if they happen to watch this video?
I think the dev team does a great job. I think that people don't give them enough credit and don't understand how they work, but I'm not going to really get into that.
Yeah.
Advice that I'd give them, maybe a little more communication on the question side of things, because I see a lot of people asking questions on Twitter, counting out the troll questions and that kind of stuff, legitimate things. Maybe a slight bit more interaction on Twitter. And I think they have a Facebook page. I don't use Facebook much, but yeah, just a little bit more interaction like that.
What's your biggest gripe with Dayz?
Actually, I've answered this in my Twitch chat before. So you know how at the moment, and this is fixed in 6.3 from what I can see, it's absolutely amazing. But when you've got any gun that isn't, I don't know, an M4 with a CQB buttstock, and you turn rapidly, very quickly, the weapon lags behind your crosshair by, sometimes with a lot of weapons, by a lot. With the SKS, it's quite obvious. So when you're in CQB, which is a lot of the times you'll be using an SKS and CQB to medium range, a lot of other guns like a Winchester or whatever, it lags behind your crosshair, and it makes it almost impossible to accurately hit shots.
Yep.
In CQB.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully that is something they've got fixed in the new patch, but I know what you mean. Basically, the lag or the drag of the weapon across, and it's just not coming along, or the aiming point just isn't coming along with where your gun is actually aiming. Exactly.
Like sometimes I'll get killed in CQB, and then I'll be like, but my crosshair was on him, and I'll go back in the video, and I'll be like, oh, but the gun wasn't. So, yeah.
What specifically are you looking forward to the most in Dayz?
Base building and proper vehicles. One thing I've really loved about the mod was the fact that a server was almost a community, and like big names, you could see big names in a server. That was slightly due to the side chat, but you know where a lot of people's bases are, and you could plan a raid on their base, and they would fight back, and maybe your teammates got downed, you'd have to fly back to the coast, get them. It's that experience, not to the level of Rust, where it's like extreme base raiding, and I don't really pay attention to Rust, but that kind of involvement with bases and taking stuff, it's really interesting to me, and I like that.
Has your style of play changed at all? If so, how and why?
Yes, my style of play has changed a lot. I used to be very bad at the game when I first started gaming. I would just kind of run around aimlessly, mindlessly, not like thinking about what I'm doing. And a lot of the time it would work out, but an equal amount of time it wouldn't. It was more of a 50-50 type thing. And as I continued to play the game and log more hours into it, and maybe watch other creators and taking tips, I formulated a playstyle of my own where it would be less YOLO. You'll see me do that. You won't see me do that often. You'll see me try and make a more calculated play, not to the level of Deadly Slop, but my playstyle now is a lot more thought out than it was before. One thing I think I do pretty well is I've tried to perfect my method of peeking doors, and because people love to camp double red buildings and prisons and stuff, so peeking those types of buildings and corners is crucial to being able to win a gunfight, and I've developed that over a long period of time. I've just gotten a lot better, more of a thought out player. Okay.
So what are you most looking forward to in regards to modding once they open it up to that, which they've said they're going to do with 0.63, I believe?
Yeah, modding is going to be a great thing. I'm really looking forward to some of the things that the modders will do, such as bringing in more weapons, some from the Arma 2 days, some from the Cup weapons pack. I know there's a bunch of other mods that have weapons in them. I know on our server we're going to be bringing in some of the old weapons. We're not going to be bringing in 50 cals and stuff like that, but some more variations, maybe some more bolt-action rifles, stuff like that. I'm also really excited to have some admin tools made or custom made for a specific set of servers that would operate or only be able to operate when modding is enabled, and you have that more open access to the servers. I'm super excited for that.
And how many people do you think there should be per server?
I've heard a lot of people say 100, and I've seen in the mod there was a bunch of 100-player servers, and you'd see a lot of players very often. I think 100 players is a good cap, but if server performance can't stay below or stay above a certain threshold, I think they're going to have to go lower. But I'd love to see 100 players.
Yep. Okay, now we are into the rapid fire question section, mate, where I'm going to throw a question at you and just answer it with the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
Ready? And favourite long range weapon?
Winchester.
Least favourite long range weapon?
AR-75.
Favourite auto weapon?
AK-74.
Least favourite auto weapon?
Scorpion.
KOS?
Good. Sometimes.
First person or third person?
Both. They're equally good.
Favourite server?
The Chipotle Bandits.
Check out chipotlebandits.com. Favourite place on the map?
Airfield, probably.
Public or private?
Private.
Okay. And yes, for those of you who don't know, Jakon does run a server, the Chipotle Bandits, which is a more PvP focused server, but it has a very good community and a lot of good events. I think each week Jakon and the team run a custom event. I have to apologise to you now in person for missing the last one, mate, the creators versus viewers event. Unfortunately, my alarm didn't wake me up, so I do apologise for that, buddy.
Yeah, that's okay. That one didn't actually go too well. We're going to be putting in measures next week to make sure things go much, much more smoothly.
Why? What happened?
We had someone presumably launch a DDoS attack on the server, which kept it down for a little while. We were able to play out the event, but with much, about half the amount of players. It still went well. It was interesting, but we're definitely going to be taking measures to stop that next week, and it won't happen.
It's sad that shit like that happens, mate. Some people have just they get pleasure in causing misery for others. I don't understand that mentality. I prefer to look at the positive things in life.
Yeah, they have tiny peckers too.
Why have you been checking them out?
Well, some of them openly display their no-lifeness, so as much as I'm willing to go into it.
Okay, now for the favourite part of the interview, mate, the viewer questions. And the first question comes from Romana. And I think you answered this a bit earlier. Romana wants to know, are you ever going to go back to high school?
I am, this year. I took a break last year around December up until now. And probably wasn't the best idea. But I wanted to focus more on seeing if I could make this YouTube thing work. And Dayz is not necessarily the most popular game at the moment. Probably not the best idea, but yeah, I'm going back to high school. And Ro is, he was in my original squad way back. When Dayz first launched. I love you, Ro. You're the best.
The next question, mate, is a bit polarising. Someone who's not the happiest with you, Wolfgang7990. And he starts off saying, I don't really have anything good to say about him. I'll ask in accordance to this. And there's a couple of questions he's got. The first one is, why aren't you more humble? For a small streamer, content creator, you immediately try to build a hostile fan base. You feed trolls on your YouTube channel as well as other streamers' channels. I watched you argue with someone on Deadly Slob's channel simply trying to get a rise out of you, and they succeeded.
Okay, so there's a certain aspect of myself that I don't pride myself in, and that is like responding to comments that are meant to aggravate you. Now, those comments don't bother me. They used to a while back, but they don't anymore. It's more or less, it's just fun to mess with those types of people, because they're not, most of the time they're not the smartest. But I'm trying to make a point for myself to not do that stuff, especially in other creators' comment sections. It's not the best thing to do.
Fair enough answer, mate, and very quite humble.
Right.
Ba-dum-tsh. Okay. Are you still that toxic person from a year ago? A friend of mine spent hours gathering supplies plus what was already in his camp on a well-known private shard and made a video of the combat he got himself into. Despite the content of the video, your immediate comment on it was duper, which spurned a lot of negative comments simply because he had a bag full of AK mags.
I remember this. I remember this very well. Oddly enough, I have a terrible memory, which I've mentioned multiple times. So this guy's video, which I'll start off by saying, that was not smart. I shouldn't have done that. I learned over certain amounts of time, up until now, I guess, to not immediately judge things as they seem, or not judge a book by its cover. The guy had a backpack. I don't know what it was. It was one of the medium-sized bags in the game, and he had it full to the brim with full AKM mags. And immediately as I saw that, I thought, wow, I mean, that's Duke gear, because it was at a point in Dayz where you'd see dupers running around on public hives. I had no idea what server he was playing on, but you see dupers running around public hives with protector cases full of 308 and you know those duper sets. So that was my mindset immediately. I shouldn't have commented that, I admit that, but I don't judge things immediately anymore.
It is hard though. It's particularly it's a human thing to do. Like usually when you see something like that, a protector case full of 308, the first thing your mind thinks is, did he fucking dupe? Exactly. The difference between it is thinking it and then actually saying it. So again, I think you've been quite humble there and said, first reactions are reactions. How many times have you died and the first reaction you have is he had to be fucking hacking?
I used to do a lot of that.
Another common one for you streamers is when you die under suspicious circumstances. A lot of people say, "Geez, that was fucking stream sniping." Possibly it was, but it's not always. So it's risky jumping to conclusions.
Exactly, and I try to do that a lot less now, especially with stream sniping. I can think it, and I have a lot of admins, or a few admins in my chat when I play on certain servers that are there, just like they are in Deadly's chat, and if someone's stream sniping, they're usually banned. Back then, I didn't used to have that, so I used to claim stream sniper a lot. Sometimes it wasn't true. Most of the time it was. I do admit that it was true. A lot of those people get banned, but recently I don't say it out loud. Usually, I'll message one of my admins and they'll deal with it. And if it's stream sniping, that person's gone. If it's not, then that's fine.
So Wolfgang, I hope that answered your questions for you, mate. We'll move on to the next question now from J Hands. Now you've already answered this one. What is your favourite video? Which was the ghillie sniper, although it may now be your 25k subscriber video coming soon. But do you have a favourite video that stands out for you from another content creator? One that just you can go back and watch now and enjoy it as much as the first time you ever watched it?
I wouldn't say it is a single video, but probably the middle 15, 10 episodes of Frankie's Dayz mod series. I just I love those videos. He puts in so much work into his videos, and you can definitely tell they take days upon days to edit, sometimes weeks probably. Those videos are probably my favorite. Other content creator.
Okay. WD Dayz wants to know top half or bottom half.
White Death, one of my Twitch mods. I don't know, man. I'm gonna go with spur of a moment, bottom half.
Bottom half. Jamie Murphy, do you plan to move away from the Survivor gen of games at all?
in the foreseeable future. Maybe if my YouTube channel succeeds in continuing to get more views and subscribers and keeps growing, then possibly. If Dayz ends up dying out, I'd love to continue on the channel. But for this foreseeable future, I'll be playing with, Dayz. Sticking to this.
Okay. Bethesda. I think I said that right. Bethesda. Yeah. What was your favorite childhood video game?
My favorite childhood video game was I'd probably have to say Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, which was my first Call of Duty game. I used to play with my friends a lot, and we used to grind that game, and it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it.
Yep. Okay, now for some content creator questions. The first is from the man, the myth, the legend, Fubar Bundy. And he's got some questions for you. Do you prefer one particular platform over another, i.e. Twitch or YouTube?
I love you, Bundy. I fucking love you, dude. Your videos are amazing.
They are.
He knows that. But, do I prefer one platform over the other? I don't know. I really love there's something about making a video and putting a lot of effort into it and making it your own that I really, really like. And then the feedback and, everything on YouTube. But there's also the other end of being able to interact live with your viewers. Now, my Twitch channel isn't as big as some other creators like Hope and Deadly and the Running Mans, but I still really do enjoy a lot of the interaction I get with Twitch. So I'd have to say I can't really pick between the two. I love them both pretty equally.
Okay. What do you think about the new .63 beta demo footage that came out of Gamescom?
95% of it looks amazing, honestly. I think the dev team has blown this out of the water. A lot of people were saying this is like this is the patch. They have to make this patch as good as possible upon release. And if they don't, then Dayz will die. I don't think Dayz will die, even if they did screw up the patch, which they didn't. I think that everything looks pretty awesome. I noticed that there's no ragdolling, like I said in my video. I'm sure that'll be added in. I'm 100% sure of it. I guess, there was another thing. Right, the running animation. Sprinting animation looks a little odd. Other than that, I think everything is absolutely amazing.
Yep. Do you think Dayz will be able to return to its glory days?
Yes. I think when the game is close to finished, it's going to return to a lot of people. They're talking about the mod when they say the glory days of Dayz. And to that I would say yes, because when base building and vehicles are in, my computer keeps fucking going to sleep. When base building and vehicles are in, it's gonna, like I said before, bring back that amazing feel that servers get to them. Just that huge community, everyone knows who everyone is. So yeah, I think that feeling is going to be restored in a lot of people.
Yep. Now you mentioned it, but he also wants to know, do you have any thoughts and concerns on base building? Probably more concerns. You've said your thoughts on it, you're really looking forward to it, but do you have any concerns about it?
I have concerns, a few, which I am probably pretty certain that I wouldn't have to think of them as concerns because they won't be in the game. But I wouldn't want to see sky bases like there was in Epoch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They've come out quite clearly and said that they don't want that either.
Yeah, exactly. I want bases to... You need to be able to defend your base, and you need to be able to lock it. And so players... I don't think players should be able to...
easily gain access.
Yeah, you need to be able to have a system that either may it be a padlock system or I don't know, actually how strong a structure is if you build the base. It just can't be something you can either knock over super easy or get into super easily. There needs to be some sort of skill or time you need to invest in it.
My mind says to me, Dayz is not a quick fix game. You want a quick fix, go play Battlegrounds, go play Armour, or something like that. But I think roughly about an hour is a good time that you should have to invest to be able to get work over a base. It shouldn't be a simple thing of walk up, jump over a fence, get in there, get a pair of... I know in reality you could just use a pair of bolt cutters if there was no one there and you could be in and that, but I think that's one of the areas they've got to work on to make it an effort, make the bolt cutters incredibly bulky so they're not something you can just carry easily on your body.
Exactly.
They've got to come up with some method to make it worthwhile people bothering to build a base.
Exactly. And by that point, after an hour, you probably gain the attention of either A, other groups, or B, the guy who owns the base.
Yeah.
And he's probably fighting you, and you're probably fighting him off. And then if you succeed, you get into the base eventually. If you don't, well, you just lost an hour of your time.
Yeah.
Right?
And possibly earn a new spawn back on the coast.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, number 5 question from Mr. Bundy. Can you say Steven really slowly for me?
Steven.
Now can you say it more slower and more up?
More high-pitched?
Yeah.
Oh, my voice doesn't go super high. Ethan.
Now he wants to know if you can say it backwards.
My mind doesn't work like that.
Like I said, mate, I'm a huge fan of Bundy. If you guys haven't checked him out, he was the second or third interview I did, and definitely an absolute laugh. His content is amazing. I would almost put him on par with Frankie for the amount of work he puts into his videos. He's never just one who simply downloads footage straight from his recording. The amount of time and effort that goes into editing his videos is amazing, and well worth it. He definitely has a love for doing what he does.
Yeah, Bundy makes great videos.
Can confirm. Okay, Uncooper, what are Jakon's expectations for modding? Do you think the mods will fracture the community or reduce the game to a solely PvP role again?
Not at all. I think that modding will, bring in more people, because a lot of people are looking for modding in the standalone. That's what a lot of people are going to come back for. It's going to take a little while, because not all the mods are going to be created immediately, obviously, but it'll bring a lot of people back, and there is definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, going to be PvE mods and hardcore Dayz mods. Day 0, stuff like that. That kind of gameplay is going to return with mods, and you'll see those servers pop up.
Yep.
Maybe they won't be as popular as the PvP aspect, because a lot of people love shooting people, and that makes sense. But, I wouldn't mind seeing those things, and I'm sure they'll
I think those servers will have great communities as well, because it'll be like-minded people going in there who are looking for more from the game than just the pure combat aspect of it. So it'll be very interesting to get on those servers. I think there will be definitely good chances for interactions for those who prefer those over the action side of it, but still they need to make sure that there are enough. It's one of the things I love about Dayz Underground. There's a good chance of interaction, but there's still that ever-present threat of being KOS'd.
Exactly. Yeah, those.
Without that, the game's just a circle jerk.
Yeah, those servers are going to be amazing. They're going to be a key part of bringing new players into Dayz, not just for the PvP aspect. And I will be playing those. I want to try that out. I do.
Okay, the final question, mate, is from RDDAU, an Aussie streamer. Definitely check him out on Twitch. He's very, very committed to what he does, and he also is another one who looks for a bit more interaction, but can PvP as well. He wants to know what you think of the current Dayz streaming scene compared to, say, 2 years ago.
Well, I wasn't really involved with streaming Dayz or the scene 2 years ago, but it definitely has lost a lot of creators. A lot of people have gotten bored.
Yeah.
the numbers are definitely down from what I can gather. But it just gives people that really want to watch the game, committed content creators who also really enjoy the game. You're not going to see people very often at this moment. Maybe you will when beta comes out. But you won't see people that'll hop in for a second and try Dayz again. Most of the time you're seeing people that have spent countless hours on Dayz and really enjoy the game streaming.
Yep. Sweet. Okay, final questions, mate. One I wanted to elaborate on. Now, we had that question from Wolfgang, which was quite a critical one. And as you said yourself, you were quite humble, and you admitted that you have a tendency to sometimes voice your thoughts before you've had a chance to think about them. My question is, particularly on Twitter, I've noticed it. You do have a tendency to be quite polarising with people, but to your credit, your channel is going gangbusters. You've got over 25k subs on YouTube now. What do you attribute that to? I've got my theories as to why, but what do you attribute that to? That, despite the fact that you can piss people off, you're still managing to grow.
Okay, that's an interesting one.
I ask interesting questions.
You definitely do. I think people enjoy the fact that myself and my teammates can work together pretty damn well, if I do say so myself, to make interesting combat situations happen. And I think that not everyone, but the people that are subscribed to my channel enjoy my style of editing, where it's not 10 minutes of running and then 30 seconds of PvP, but it's more of a combination between standstill time, story, a little less story, but it's still there for the most part, especially in the 25k video, and action. And I try and bring the highest quality of PvP, if you can say that, to my videos, and I don't really like to include anything that I would consider subpar. So
yep.
I guess that's what I would attribute my growth to.
Awesome. My theory is I think people enjoy it. I think people enjoy the fact that you wear your heart on your sleeve a lot of the time, that you're not afraid to speak your mind. And as you've shown now, you're also not afraid to admit when you may have been wrong, which not a lot of people can do. There's a lot of people out there who are prepared to fly off the handle, but there's not a lot who will actually go, yeah, I kind of fucked up then, I apologise.
Didn't used to do that, but now getting older, it's important to realize those flaws. And if you don't fix them, you can become kind of a dick.
Yeah.
I've seen that happen to a couple of people. I'm not going to name names, but obviously.
Okay.
Important.
What advice would you give to people thinking about buying Dayz?
Okay. That's a good one. PC fell asleep again. So there are some important things I'd like to say to people that are considering to buy Dayz. It's not a Battlegrounds. It is a tough, gritty, survival, interactive, hardcore PvP game. And with 6.3, it will grow even more so towards that side. So if all you want to do is PvP, and if you don't like interaction or you don't like any of that, don't buy the game. But if you want the hardcore aspect, if you want to feel the gratification of spending hours looting and building a character, maybe meeting people, maybe winning a gunfight, then those are the reasons I'd say you'd want to pick up Dayz if you're that type of person.
Yeah, you've got to be prepared to invest the time and be prepared for all of that time to have been for nothing.
Exactly.
If you can't handle that, you just won't enjoy Dayz. It'll just do your head in. There's nothing worse than spending 3-4 hours not seeing a single person, getting yourself geared and getting yourself in a really good position, and then your dead screen pops up.
Yeah, I've seen it happen to a bunch of people, and they just leave the game, but that's part of Dayz, unfortunately, at some points.
My favourite question of the interview is, I like to refresh people on this one. It's from a guy called Gamer8, who's a YouTuber, and he is one who has stepped away from the game. The question he likes me to ask is, in your opinion, is Dayz going to be the game you hoped it would be when you first heard about the standalone project?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I do. I think it's going to be wildly successful. I think it's going to take a little while for the creators and everyone to cover Dayz, get back to it. But eventually, I think the game, once it comes out of early access and out of beta, and once it releases, I think the game is going to have a ton of content, and it's going to be, for the most part, what I wanted it to be in the first place, and even more so because, you know, back then, I didn't know about a new player controller. I thought Dayz was going to be clunky forever. So, you know, I think it's going to be even more than what I expected it to be.
Awesome. Mate, final question. What can we expect from you in the future?
Well, in 6.3, I'll be uploading a lot. As soon as 6.3 hits experimental, or the first build is playable, I will be taking a couple of days off to specifically focus on making content, streaming videos, all that stuff. So, I'll be covering Dayz a lot. I'll be making, once modding comes out, once, like I mentioned before, Dayz kind of formulates into the more like community-based servers, and everyone knows everyone's name and that kind of stuff, base building, vehicles, then I'll be making more continuative, if that's a word, videos. So you'll be seeing a story develop on the server that I'm playing on. You can see me go from episode 1, where I'm completely fresh, and I, you know, build a base with my friends, have interactions, PvP moments, go places, achieve things. That's the style of video that I'm planning on making. That's
the style of videos I honestly love the most, mate. As you mentioned, you know, like yours is Frankie's videos. For me, it's Mr. Blackout's Hardcore and his diary series, where you got to follow the life of a character. I just love those videos where it's, you know, a great story told, showing a mix of everything from great PvP to great interactions to even just the general looting. I love those sort of videos. It's why I'm such a huge fan of Barely Infected. He does more than just the PvP and shows the interaction side of it as well as some PvP when it's required.
Yeah, Barely Infected is a good guy too. He makes really awesome content.
Mate, thank you so much for doing this, guys. If you haven't, please check out Jakon72's YouTube channel. The link is in the description. It's up on the screen as well. Check him out over at Twitch. He streams regularly as well. Do you have a schedule, mate?
Yeah, I do. Mondays and Fridays at 4 p.m. Eastern. Wednesdays at 12 with Taupe. And every other Saturday, I am doing a sub day where I play with subscribers on Twitch. And every Sunday for the foreseeable future, we do events on the Chipotle Bandit server.
My personal recommendation to you all is the Wednesday with Taupe. The pair of them together are a almost unbeatable team. I don't think there's many teams out there that could do them over. I'd actually love to see them do a Survivor Games together if that's going to be coming back with 0.63. But not just for the PvP side of it. The pair of them have got a great approach to the game. They love the game, and you're sure to have some laughs during the times that they're streaming. You can watch it as a dual stream as well. Both fantastic content creators, and I can't rate them highly enough. Mate, once again, thank you so much. All the best with the future. Good to see you growing as a person.
It was tons of fun, man. I was excited to do this interview. It went way better than I thought it would. So yeah, tons of fun. I'm glad I did it. Thank you.
Cheers, mate,
for the opportunity.
All the best, and stay tuned. Next week we will be interviewing Cam Can't Run, a smaller YouTube creator, but definitely one of my favorites. He also has a fantastic style of doing videos. Have you seen Cam yourself, Jakon?
I have. He's a really good creator. He has a very interesting personality, very passionate about what he does.
He does, and such a unique style with his videos. I love his almost intellectual view of the game.
Yeah,
Brilliant. Okay, mate, all the best, and I will see you guys in the next video. Ciao for now.